No one ever noticed the girl who lived next door. She never spoke much, never made noise, and never joined neighborhood events. But Adam had always felt something strange about her. It wasn't just her silence. It was the way her eyes glowed, faintly when the lights flickered, the way her skin seemed to shimmer when moonlight hit it. He had tried to forget it. Everyone said she was just shy, maybe from another country, maybe just awkward. But Adam had seen too much now to ignore the truth. It started the night the power went out across the entire block. Not just a blackout. Every single generator, backup battery, and phone died. All at once. Even the stars above blinked out for a moment like something had swallowed them whole. Adam had been outside trying to fix his flashlight when he heard something crash into the backyard fence. A blur of light passed by, followed by a strange sound like thunder underwater. He crouched down, unsure what he was hearing. Then he saw her. She wasn't wearing normal clothes anymore. Her skin, once pale, now glowed with soft violet light. Her eyes were no longer human. They were deep black, layered with shifting stars. She didn't look at him. She was running, fast and silent, like something was chasing her. He followed her, carefully. Curiosity had always gotten him into trouble. He stayed behind trees, keeping a good distance, not making noise. She moved like she knew the forest better than any human ever could. Then she stopped. Her hand hovered over the ground. A circle of glowing symbols lit up beneath her palm. It looked like a keypad made of light. She tapped a few, then stepped back. A blue flame rose up in front of her, spinning, forming something that looked like a portal. Adam's breath caught. What the hell was this, a dream? A hallucination? His heart raced as he watched the glowing gate spin faster, but then suddenly it flickered and died. She stumbled back and screamed, not in fear, but frustration. A scream not meant for human ears. The trees seemed to bend in response to her cry. She dropped to her knees, covering her face. Adam stepped out from behind a tree before he could think. She turned sharply. Her glowing eyes locked onto his. "Please," she said softly. "Don't. Tell them you saw me." Adam froze. "Them? They're hunting me. They're already here." He shook his head, confused. "Who's here?" She stood slowly. Her voice was calm but full of warning. "Execution teams. They were sent to erase me. I broke their law, I ran. Earth was my last hiding place. But now, they know." He didn't know what to say. His mouth opened, but no sound came. She looked young, close to his age, but nothing about her felt normal anymore. She had lived next to him for months, and now she was saying she wasn't even human? "There's more coming," she whispered. "If you stay near me, they'll kill you too." He looked around. The forest had gone silent. No wind, no bugs, no birds. Just deep, unnatural stillness. "Why did you come here?" he finally asked. Her expression softened. "Because I thought humans were safe. That you were free." He didn't understand it all, but something inside him believed her. The fear in her voice wasn't fake. The glow in her skin wasn't a trick. And the cold dread in the air wasn't from any storm. Then, from behind the trees, a soft hum began to rise. A vibration in the ground. Adam turned but saw nothing. The girl stepped forward and touched his arm. "You can still walk away," she said. "Forget me. Let them take me." But Adam clenched his jaw. He had never run from danger in his life, and he wasn't going to start now. The ground trembled beneath their feet. It was faint, but Adam could feel it in his bones. Something heavy was approaching. The girl's hand tightened on his arm, her glowing fingers warm against his skin. Her eyes were wide, scanning the trees. "Is it them?" Adam asked, his voice shaking. She nodded slowly. "They're close. They found my last signal. I should have never opened the portal here." A sudden crack echoed through the woods. Not a gunshot. Not thunder. It sounded like metal splitting the air. Trees behind them began to sway unnaturally. Not from wind, but from force. Adam grabbed her wrist. "We need to move." She hesitated. "If they catch you with me, they won't hesitate. You'll die." "I'll take my chances," he replied. They ran together, dodging between trees and leaping over fallen branches. Her speed was unnatural, but she adjusted to match his pace. Even while fleeing, she stayed alert, checking behind every few seconds. Adam knew they were being followed. He just didn't know by what. "What are they?" he asked, panting. "Trackers," she said. "Half machine, half flesh. They can smell dimensional energy. I used too much when I tried to escape." Adam didn't understand everything, but he understood the danger. As they pushed deeper into the forest, he saw lights flicker in the distance, pale blue orbs floating between trees, blinking like alien fireflies. "We're surrounded," she whispered. He stopped. "What do we do?" She looked around quickly, then pointed to a fallen log ahead. "We hide, just for a moment. Let me think." They ducked behind the log and dropped to the ground. Her hand glowed faintly as she pressed it to the dirt. Strange symbols rippled through the soil like waves of light. She closed her eyes, whispering something in a language Adam couldn't recognize. "What is that?" he asked quietly. "I'm masking our presence. It won't last long." Then came the sound of footsteps, heavy, unnatural, metallic. A figure emerged between the trees, 7 feet tall, clad in armor that shimmered like oil on water. Its face was hidden behind a black, featureless mask. In one hand, it carried a long spear glowing with pulsing red veins. Adam held his breath. The creature paused, sniffing the air. A low clicking sound came from its throat. It turned its head slowly, scanning. The girl beside Adam didn't move. She stayed still, calm, like she had done this before. After a long moment, the creature turned and walked away. Adam let out the breath he was holding. "That thing, there'll be more," she said. "I need something to rebuild the portal. I need crystal energy and Earth doesn't have it." "Then what do we do?" She looked at him. "We fight." Adam blinked. "I don't know how to fight something like that. I can teach you, or I can leave you behind. But I won't survive this alone. Not anymore." He looked at her, the girl he had ignored for so long, the girl next door, the one who had never smiled, never talked, now glowing like starlight and hunted by creatures he couldn't even name. "You're not leaving me behind," he said. She nodded once. "Then stay close." Together they moved deeper into the woods toward an old quarry Adam remembered from childhood. There, underground, she said the last piece of her tech was buried, the only hope she had left. But Adam could already feel that this was no longer about just hiding. Something bigger was coming, something that didn't just want her dead. They wanted Earth to forget she ever existed, and they were willing to burn everything to make that happen. Adam hadn't been to the quarry since he was 10. Back then it was just a place to skip rocks and chase frogs. But now, walking beside a glowing alien girl while being hunted by machines from another world, it felt like a grave. "We're close," she said quietly. She didn't glow as brightly anymore. The light under her skin pulsed weakly like a low battery. Her steps were slower, her breath heavier. Adam could tell she was hurting, though she tried to hide it. "Are you okay?" he asked. She shook her head. "I used too much energy hiding us. I need the core." "What's the core?" She paused beside a rock wall covered in vines. Then she knelt and brushed the leaves aside. Beneath the moss was a circle of silver metal embedded in the stone. It looked like a hatch, but no human hand could have made it. "My emergency pod landed here," she said. "I buried it. I didn't think I'd need it again." She pressed her palm against the metal. A soft hum filled the air. Lines of glowing light ran across the hatch, forming a perfect circle. Then it opened with a slow hiss. Inside was a small chamber, no bigger than a closet. Floating in the center was a glowing sphere the size of a heart, pulsing with soft blue light. "That's the core," she whispered. "It powers everything I brought with me." Adam looked around nervously. "Can they track it?" "Yes. That's why we have to move fast." She reached into the chamber and grabbed the core. Instantly, her body brightened. The glow returned, to her eyes, and her skin shimmered again. But the light also reached into the air around them. A sharp click echoed through the trees. Adam turned. The same tall creature from earlier now stood at the edge of the quarry. Behind it, two more emerged, one with long clawed arms, the other with glowing eyes like twin suns. "They're here," Adam said. "I know," she replied, her voice calm now. "You still want to stay?" He didn't answer. He just stepped. In front of her, the creatures began to move forward. Their armor made no sound. Their weapons hummed with energy Adam didn't understand. She stepped beside him and held out her hand. A blade of light formed in her grip, smooth, curved, and glowing. "Keep them away from me while I connect the core," she said. "If I activate my tech, I can open another portal. It won't last long, but it might get us out." Adam swallowed his fear. "Okay, I'll try." The first creature leaped into the quarry. Adam picked up a broken metal rod and stood ready. He had no plan, no training, just instinct and fear. The creature swung its spear. Adam ducked, barely avoiding the strike. He jabbed the rod forward, hitting the thing in the chest. It didn't even flinch. Then the girl stepped in. Her blade sliced through the creature's arm. Sparks flew. It staggered back. She moved like water, fast, smooth, deadly. The second creature fired a bolt of red energy. She spun, deflecting it with the blade, then rolled to cover. "Keep them busy," she shouted. "I'm almost done." Adam backed up, swinging wildly at the third one. It caught his weapon mid-air, crushed it like paper, and threw him against the wall. Pain shot through his back. He groaned, but didn't stop. He crawled toward her, bleeding, shaking. She slammed the core into a round device on her wrist. Lights flared. The air twisted. A tear in reality began to open behind her. A swirling portal. Unstable, but real. The creatures screamed. One rushed forward, but she kicked it back and grabbed Adam's hand. "Hold on," she said, and together, they jumped. The jump was like falling through a storm made of light. Adam couldn't see or breathe. Colors twisted around him, bending like glass, folding space in ways his mind couldn't understand. Then suddenly it was over. They landed hard on solid ground. Adam rolled and groaned, the pain from the fight still fresh in his body. His ears rang. His skin felt cold. The air was thinner, drier. When he looked up, he saw a sky he didn't recognize. It was deep purple, with twin moons hanging low. Strange trees grew sideways, their leaves glowing with soft green light. And in the distance, a mountain floated in the sky. Where are we?" he whispered. The girl was already standing, checking her wrist device. "This is a dead world. Unclaimed. No cities, no satellites. They can't track us here. Not yet." Adam sat up slowly, looking around. Everything felt wrong. The colors. The sounds, even gravity felt slightly off. "You took me off Earth?" he asked, still trying to catch his breath. "It was the only way," she said. "We were seconds away from being torn apart." Adam stood shakily. "You could have warned me." She looked at him, her face softening. "You didn't give me time." They found a nearby rock formation for shelter. The girl placed a small disc on the ground. It unfolded into a glowing dome of light that shielded them from the outside. Inside the dome, the air warmed. A small light flickered above them. She sat cross-legged on the ground and closed her eyes. "I need to heal," she said quietly. Adam sat across from her. "You're still hurt." "My kind heals with energy," she replied. "But using the portal took most of mine. I need rest." He watched her for a moment. Her glow was dimmer now. Her face, though beautiful and calm, showed signs of pain. He suddenly realized he didn't even know her name. "What should I call you?" he asked. She opened her eyes. "My Earth. Name is Alara. And your real name?" She hesitated, then said something soft and musical. He couldn't repeat it even if he tried. Ilara, it is. He nodded. They sat in silence for a while. The light from the dome shifted as strange stars passed overhead. Adam tried to understand how his normal life had turned into this. Just 2 days ago, he was fixing his bike and eating leftover pizza. Now he was hiding on an alien planet with a girl who wasn't human. Why are they trying to kill you? He asked. Ilara opened her eyes again. Because I know something I wasn't supposed to know. Like what? She looked at him for a long moment, then whispered, that humans are more important than they realize. Adam frowned. What does that mean? Ilara stood slowly and walked to the edge of the dome. She looked up at the twin moons, her glow reflecting softly on the dome's surface. There's a council, she said. A group that controls hundreds of planets. They decide which species grow and which vanish. When I studied Earth, I found something buried, hidden, a secret in human DNA, a trait no other race has. What trait? She turned to him. Potential. Adam blinked. You're saying we're special? She nodded. More than you know. And the council fears that. They fear what you might become if someone helped you rise. Adam sat in silence. The weight of her words pressed down on him. You're not just hiding, he said. You're trying to protect something. Ilara's voice was firm now. I'm protecting your future. Outside the dome, something rustled. Ilara's eyes narrowed. They've followed us. Adam stood. I thought you said they couldn't track us here. They can't. But someone else might have. She pressed a button on her wrist, and the dome vanished. In the distance, shadows moved through the glowing forest. Someone, or something, was coming. The glowing forest swayed gently, but the shadows moved with purpose. Not wind, not animals. Something was hunting them again. Ilara raised her hand, and a shield of faint blue light shimmered over her skin. Her face tightened with focus. Adam stayed behind her, gripping a rock with both hands. He didn't have a weapon, but he had no intention of running. Then the figure stepped out from behind a glowing tree. But it wasn't a hunter, not like the ones that had attacked them on Earth. It was another alien, slender, tall, wearing robes that shimmered like liquid metal. His skin was golden and his eyes had no pupils, just endless white glow. He held out both hands, empty. Ilara, he said calmly, you've gone too far. Ilara's blade reformed instantly in her hand, her stance sharp. Stay back, Kalen. Adam blinked. You know him? He's from my world, Ilara said. He's one of them. Kalen frowned. No, I'm one of the ones who warned you. She didn't lower her blade. Then why are you here? I came to bring you in before they do, Kalen said. The council sent assassins, not just trackers. You won't survive another jump, your energy's breaking down. I won't let them erase what I've learned, Ilara replied. They'll erase the human too, Kalen said, eyes turning toward Adam. You know the law. If you involve another species, they're disposable. Adam stepped forward. I'm standing right here, you know. Kalen turned his gaze toward Adam. You don't understand the scale of what's happening. You were never supposed to be part of this. Adam clenched his fists. Then maybe it's time someone like me was. Ilara's hand trembled for a second, then lowered slightly. Why follow me all this way? Because I owe you, Kalen said. You saved my brother. I told the council you died during the last purge. I bought you time. She stared at him in silence. Then slowly she asked, What do you want now? To help you escape, he said. But you have to leave the human behind. No, she said at once. I won't leave him. Kalen's glow dimmed. Then you're forcing my hand. In a flash, energy exploded from his palm. Ilara blocked it with her shield. Adam was thrown backward, hitting a glowing tree hard enough to lose his breath. Ilara, he gasped. She moved fast, spinning and deflecting the second blast with her blade. Sparks flew. Kalen stepped back, pulling a curved staff from his back, its tips crackling with light. They fought in silence. No screams, no anger, just movement. Fast, beautiful, and deadly. Alara's blade cut through the air like a ribbon. Kalen's staff moved like wind. Each strike sent ripples through the forest, shaking the ground and cracking stone. Adam tried to stand but fell again. His vision blurred. A sharp pain throbbed in his ribs. One of them might have broken. Alara shouted, "Stay down!" But he refused. Crawling, dragging himself forward, he saw something glowing beneath the roots of a twisted tree. A metal handle half buried. He grabbed it. It responded instantly, glowing faintly in his hand, forming into a compact alien weapon. Not a gun. Something pulsing with stored energy. Kalen knocked Alara down. She hit the ground hard. The blade flickering in her hand. Adam stood shaking, holding the strange weapon. He pointed it at Kalen. "Back away." Kalen turned. Surprise flashed in his eyes. "That's not meant for you." Adam didn't move. "I don't care." Alara raised her eyes from the ground, blood at her lip. She saw Adam standing, glowing, weapon in hand. For the first time since they met, she smiled. "You touched a bond blade," Kalen whispered. "Only carriers can use those." "What does that mean?" Adam asked. "It means," Alara said weakly, "you're more than just human." Kalen stepped back. "This changes everything." But more shadows were approaching now. Dozens of them. The real assassins had arrived, and the war was no longer just about her. The ground began to vibrate, not from footsteps, but from arrival. Through the glowing trees, dark figures emerged. Tall, armored, their weapons humming with deadly energy. Their faces were hidden behind masks that flickered with alien symbols. Their eyes glowed red. "Execution team," Alara whispered, standing with effort. "Elite. No warnings. No mercy." Adam raised the bond blade. It pulsed in his hand like it knew what was coming. His heart beat hard in his chest, but something inside him felt still. Focused. Ready. Kalen stood between them and the assassins. His staff lowered. "This wasn't supposed to happen?" Alara looked at him. "Then help us, or get out of the way." Kalen hesitated, then he turned to the assassins and raised his hands. "She is under my protection," he called. "This is not an authorized strike." One of the assassins responded with a sharp blast of red energy. It struck Kalen in the chest and sent him flying back into the dirt. Adam ran forward without thinking. He didn't wait for orders. He swung the bond blade at the nearest attacker. The weapon sang with light and sliced clean through the enemy's armor. Sparks flew. The assassin collapsed without a sound. More charged toward him. Alara joined the fight, her blade a blur of glowing motion. She fought like a dancer, each strike precise, each step sharp. But there were too many. Adam fought beside her. The bond blade reacted to his thoughts, moving faster than his hands alone could guide. It blocked blasts, cut through weapons, and sent shockwaves through the air. Kalen rose to his feet, bleeding, one arm limp. He joined them, staff spinning like wind. The three of them stood back to back as the assassins circled. "They'll keep coming," Alara said, "unless we shut them down from the source." Adam ducked under a blade and kicked an assassin back. "Where's the source?" She pointed to a floating disc behind the trees. "That relay controls their orders. Destroy it, they freeze." Kalen nodded. "It's heavily shielded." "Not for long," Adam said, gripping the bond blade tighter. Alara and Kalen pushed forward, clearing a path. Adam sprinted between enemy strikes, dodging bursts of heat and light. His legs burned, but he kept moving. He reached the relay. It hovered in the air, protected by spinning rings of blue light. He slashed at it once, nothing. Again, no effect. Then, he stopped thinking. He gripped the hilt of the blade, closed his eyes, and let whatever was inside him take over. The blade surged with white-hot energy. He swung. The relay cracked, then shattered. Every assassin froze mid-movement. Their weapons dropped. Lights in their masks flickered and died. One by one, they fell. The forest went quiet again. Adam dropped to his knees, exhausted. Ilara ran to him, catching him before he fell forward. "You did it," she said softly. "You shouldn't have been able to, but you did." Kalen approached, breathing heavily. "You bonded with the blade. That shouldn't be possible, not for a human." Adam looked up. "Then maybe I'm not just human." Ilara helped him stand. Her glow was soft now, no longer just power, but warmth. "You were meant to find me," she said. "I didn't know it then, but I know it now." Kalen looked between them. "We can't stay here. That strike was unauthorized. The council will be angry. They'll send more, stronger ones." "Then we go to them first," Adam said. "We take the truth to their world." "You won't survive that," Kalen warned. Adam's voice didn't shake. "We'll see." Ilara nodded. "The council needs to hear what we've seen, what we've felt, and if they won't listen—" She looked at Adam, her eyes full of something deeper than fear now. "Then we'll make them." The jump to the council world was harder than the last. Adam felt like his body had been torn and stitched back together mid-flight. He hit the floor of the landing platform hard, barely able to breathe. Ilara stood quickly. Her glow pulsed brighter now, fueled by determination. Kalen landed beside them, already moving, scanning the towering structure ahead. "This is the core chamber," he said, "where the council gathers. If we reach the main floor, they'll be forced to listen." Adam stood shakily. "And if they don't?" Kalen didn't answer. The building in front of them rose into the sky like a blade. Silver walls shimmered in the pale blue light of the planet's sun. Guards in tall armor marched along the platforms above, unaware of the intruders, at least for now. "This place feels wrong," Adam whispered. "It is," Ilara replied. "This is where entire species have been erased, not with war, with silence, with decisions made in shadows." They moved together through a side corridor Kalen had used during his training years. The halls were quiet, cold. Machines lined the walls, recording every step. "We'll be detected soon," he said. "Once we reach the upper circle, there's no hiding." "I'm done hiding," Ilara said. They climbed narrow stairs. Adam kept one hand on the hilt of the bond blade, though he hoped it wouldn't need to be used again. But inside him, something had changed. The blade no longer felt like a weapon. It felt like a part of him. At the top, a final door waited. Tall, smooth, no handle. Kalen stepped forward and pressed his palm to it. It scanned his glow, then opened. Beyond it was the Chamber of Judgment. 12 beings floated above the floor, cloaked in light. None of them touched the ground. Their faces were hidden behind glowing veils. They spoke in one voice that echoed through the walls. "You were warned, Ilara." She stepped into the center of the room, her hands at her sides. "I was. You fled your post. You took knowledge forbidden by the stars. You brought contamination to a lesser race." "I brought truth," she replied. "Truth does not give you authority." "No," she said, "but it gives me purpose." Adam entered beside her. Murmurs echoed around the chamber. "A human," one of the council said. "You dare bring him here?" "He's not just a human," Ilara said. "He carries a bond blade. And he used it." The council paused. Even the air seemed to stop. "That is not possible." "It happened," Kalen confirmed. "I saw it with my own eyes. The blade responded to him like it knew him." "Then the damage is worse than feared," the council spoke. "The human must be destroyed, the girl must be erased, the balance must be restored." Adam stepped forward. "You call it balance, but I've seen what you do. You decide who matters, who survives. You fear change because it means you lose. Control. You speak with no right," the council said. "He speaks with courage," Ilara replied, "more than I've seen in 1,000 worlds." A beam of red light formed above the chamber. It pulsed toward Adam. Ilara jumped in front of him, her shield flaring. She screamed in pain but held. Kalen raised his staff and sent a shock wave that cracked the floor. "This is no longer judgment," he shouted. "This is fear." Adam stepped around Alara and raised the bond blade. It glowed brighter than ever before. Pure white, hot like a small sun. "You wanted to erase us," he said. "But we are the future." He drove the blade into the floor. Blast of energy surged through the chamber. The lights went out. When they returned, only 3 of the council still floated. The rest had vanished. Silence filled the chamber. The bond blade dimmed in Adam's hand, but its heat still pulsed in the floor beneath him. 3 council members remained, their light flickering like weak stars. The others were gone, dispersed by the energy, or fled. Alara breathed heavily beside him. Her shield had cracked and her glow had faded. She leaned on Kalen, her strength almost gone. The remaining council floated lower, as if weakened by what they had witnessed. "You have changed something," one of them said. "This was not expected." Adam stepped forward. "You don't get to expect anything anymore. You've controlled the galaxy too long, silently, secretly. That ends now." "You are a human," the voice replied. "One spark cannot undo 1,000 years." Alara raised her head. Her voice was soft but strong. "He's not just a spark, he's proof that your fear is real, that humanity can rise." "You broke the law," the council said. "I broke silence," she replied. One of the floating figures dimmed further, then lowered its voice. "You want change?" Kalen stepped forward. "Then let it begin with truth. Let every species know what you've hidden. Let them see the blade. Let them choose their own future." The council was quiet. Then slowly the chamber walls began to glow. Signals were being sent, records were being opened. The truth was no longer locked away. Alara turned to Adam. Her knees nearly gave out, but he caught her. "You did it," she whispered. "We did it," he said. A quiet chime echoed in the chamber. A small drone descended from the ceiling, glowing. With council colors, it hovered in front of Adam. "Designation?" it asked. Adam looked at Alara. "He doesn't have one," she said. "He's not part of any system." "Would you like to assign him one?" the drone asked. Alara smiled, though her eyes shimmered with emotion. "Let him be called Earthborn." The drone spun once, then vanished into the ceiling. Adam helped her out of the chamber as Kalen walked beside them. No one stopped them. No alarm sounded. For the first time, they weren't running. Outside, the sky was changing. Ships moved in the distance. Lights blinked across the stars as other systems received the signal. Across planets and moons, the story was being told of a girl who ran from execution, of a human who stood in front of a council, of a weapon that responded to him, and no one else. They returned to the platform where they had first arrived. The same jump disk waited. Alara stood over it, her eyes fixed on the horizon. "Where will you go?" Kalen asked her. She looked at Adam. "Wherever he goes." Adam smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that." Kalen placed a small chip into her hand. "Coordinates to a safe world. You'll need rest. Real rest. The kind that doesn't come with fear." She nodded. "Thank you, Kalen." He bowed slightly. "You were right. About humans. About hope." As he walked away, Alara activated the disk. The portal shimmered to life once more, soft and stable. She turned to Adam. "You never asked why I really chose Earth," she said. He tilted his head. "Why did you?" Her voice was soft. "Because something about your world felt unfinished, like it hadn't yet written its most important story." Adam reached for her hand. "Maybe now it can." They stepped into the light together. On Earth, the sun was just rising. The street was quiet. Birds were singing. Everything looked normal. But nothing would ever be the same again. The girl next door wasn't just a secret anymore. She was a symbol, and the boy who stood beside her was no longer just a human. He was Earthborn,